Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. What's up? What's popping? Jumalang Likai. Well. Let's talk about generations and Gomora. So I decided to put them in one video because I didn't want to make two different videos. So let's get started with um, generations. So to be honest, I haven't been following generation the way I usually do, but the episodes that I've watched so far were focusing on the Diales, um, the new character played the, played by the guy who is actually from Isidingo and is Malinga's brother. That storyline has been intriguing a bit, and I like where it's going. I like the drama behind it. It's similar to the Pamela Sayanda storyline where it's all about the hospitals and the black market of the hospitals and how shady people can be. So currently, this guy, his name is, if I'm not wrong, Leletu. The character is called Leletu, if I'm not wrong. So he's the brother to Malinga, and he's a journalist. He's trying to uncover a story about the hospital trial that is going on, and it's making people sick and are dying. So obviously he asked for Lucy's help to investigate with obviously with Cosmo and Morexo taking part in the investigation. So that's what is going on right now, and I like how this storyline is going. Now let's talk about Ayanda and Malinga. So I touched on Malinga, but on a different storyline. But this one is focused on the relationship. Now the relationship is on the rocks, if I may say so. I feel like these two are not gonna make it. I mentioned it in my live videos, reaction, reviews, that their relationship is gonna fall apart. For some reason, I just can't get that out of my mind. I feel like where that relationship is going already, it's giving me red flags. Ayanda's not into, bringing her dad into this whole lobola negotiations, um, because she has history with him, and she feels like she doesn't want to be, in that mindset of getting hurt again, reliving the bad memories when it comes to her dad. But Malinga, as usual, he's pushy, he's forcing this issue on Ayanda to reconcile with the dad and, help her with the Lobola negotiations. And Ayanda is like literally trying to say, listen to me. I do not want this man in my life. He's hurt me already. I do not want to be hurt again. And if you do bring this man into my life, I won't be happy. But you know what he does? He goes behind Ayanda's back and looks for Ayanda's dad, and voila, Ayanda's dad is in the picture now. But he's keeping it secret for now. So I feel like I get where Malinga is coming from. He's trying to, be supportive and make sure that Ayanda doesn't regret her decision down the line. I get that, but you need to respect Ayanda's choice in this issue. You're not the one who had to live with this man. So for you to make decisions for her on a really delicate issue like this, how do you expect her to feel? obviously she'll feel betrayed by you. You know, you preach all like there I'm supporting you, but you're not listening to her. You're taking what she's saying and then you're just making it into your own ideas. You know, yeah, it's tradition to pay the lobola, but if someone like Ayana does not want to do the traditional stuff, it's the modern day. Okay, we don't need to follow every tradition that we had way back in the day. It's up to the person if they want to follow the tradition. So if Aganda is not willing to be doing these lobola negotiations, then don't force her. If she wants to do it, she'll come tell you. But for you to throw it into her mouth and choke her with it, there's no use, you know. Let her process this issue at her own pace. If she wants a relationship with her dad, she'll do that for herself. She'll make the decision for herself. And I feel like if Malinka is not careful with this father and daughter relationship and trying to force them to reconcile, he's going to lose Ayanda at the end. Because he's not considering her feelings and her emotions and what she's going through right now. So it's like they're literally going separate ways right now in terms of where this relationship is. I don't see this marriage going ahead. I think it's either Ayanda gonna call it off or Malinga, but I'm leaning towards Ayanda calling off this wedding at some point. And I think she is going to have a relationship with her dad if that's where the writers and the producers are going to take that storyline. But I think they are going that route. But if they do, I'm intrigued to see what kind of storyline they're going to bring to this show, because it looks like the backstory between Ayanda and her dad is very interesting, and I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen with these two. Obviously, Nundla and her friend are at Cape Town, living their best life and spending her mom's money like there's no tomorrow, which I think is a bit of a spoiled brat. I've always known that Nundla has been a very spoiled brat, but seeing her in action the past few episodes, I feel like it's getting out of control. And Ayana is actually being a really great parent. She's setting boundaries on what kind of nonsense Nundla is gonna stop doing. Cause I mean, she's a single mom and she's really taking this parenting thing to another level. She is such a great mom. I feel like nobody gives her the credit that she deserves. So for her to be so strict with her daughter and doesn't feel like she's being a bad mom, I think it's just a great thing to see, because I feel like mamas out there, they can't find the balance to being a strict mom and also feeling like, oh, my daughter won't like me if I do this. You know, there's a fine line which I think parents should watch out for, and I think Ayanda is portraying that mother role in a way that a lot of mothers can learn from. It's okay to be strict. It's okay to be, you know, the hardcore mom giving the tough love. At the same time, you can be the firm mom, the understanding mom. You know, there's always a balance between being a strict, hardcore mom to being the fun mom. And I think Ayanda is finding that fine line to the point where it's so good. She's balancing it out. As much as it's hard for her as a single mom, I think she's doing a great job, you know. And we'll see how things go between Nondla and her mom's relationship. I touched on Lucy and the dialers. Obviously now, I think this whole private investigation company is getting off, and it looks like everyone now is hiring Lucy and the Dialis to investigate people who do not want to be investigated, and I think they're doing a great job. And I love the fact that the writers and the producers are now going ahead with that storyline. I'm intrigued to see how far they're gonna take it because there's a lot of potential when it comes to that storyline. I'm intrigued. I want them to actually, dig into it. Maybe actually have you know, a place where they can start up that company and actually become legit. Right now they're doing it at Lucia being in the back office, and I think if they're gonna go ahead with the storyline, I think they deserve to find a location for the Gialli's private investigation company, office, and I hope that's where the writers and the producers are gonna take it to. But if not, that's fine. But I really would like to see them actually expanding and making the PI, you know, office an actual location and build it up into a legit, not only underground kind of thing. But we'll see. Now let's go back to Leletu. Now Leletu obviously is doing the investigation on the trial, which is killing people, and it it involves Ban, who is Fikele's ex-husband. You know, Sianda was investigating Ban before he died, and I think that's what Leletu is like, taking the baton and taking care of Ayanda's, no, yeah, not Ayanda, sorry, Sianda's, you know, legacy in a way, and he's trying to find out what's going on. He nearly got killed by the people he's investigating, because they don't want um, Leletu finding out about what they're doing. And in one episode, there was a scene where he was at the hospital and he was about to get an injection, and luckily his phone rang, and he didn't answer. He answered, and then the shot that was supposed to be for him went to another guy, and now this guy, his name was Brian. Now he's dead, so he's now realizing that, oh my God, people are actually trying to kill me. And he spoke to Lucy about it. That was the most hilarious scene ever. So I really enjoyed seeing that episode. I really enjoyed seeing, sorry, seeing that scene where it was just hilarious. It was fun to see. We'll see how things go with that. Well, yeah. But now it's looking like the little is getting somewhere. He even asked for his brother's help to investigate this, but obviously Malinga is always the hardcore kind of guy. He doesn't really, respect or understand the brother about being a journalist and trying to figure out who's doing these things to bad people. No, I said something about Cosmo investigating, and there was a scene where Cosmo actually went and got evidence that Leletu could have used to find out what's going on with this hospital, and he gave the evidence to Spare. We'll see how that goes as well. But for now, I think that's it. Those are the main storylines that stuck out to me anyway. So yeah, that's it. Now let's go to Gomora. By the way, I'm actually cooking. That's why I'm busy, looking at these. Yeah. So let's go to Gomora. Obviously, Gomora is now, I feel like everything's settling down in terms of the aftermath of Dawn, but there's a bit of residue to it. I feel like, yeah, people are finding their feet now, and it's okay, but the detective is still investigating the death of Dawn, which I think is great because it's his job. But Jordan is now, I think, also finding her feet after the aftermath of Dawn and everything. So Zoda and her family in a place where things are great. Well, not great, but things are good. It's okay. They're in a really happy place. Obviously, Zoda was supposed to bury John, but they don't know that Subongli already done that. You know, she took Don's body and buried him without Teddy or Zoda. And now that Zoda was looking for Teddy's body, um, Shubongli was acting like she didn't know what's going on. I feel like that's a bit cold of her. I get why she's doing it. She did it when she was angry and pissed off. She didn't, process her emotions. But now that people are trying to help her, she's just pretending like she doesn't know what they're doing. And I feel like it's a bit selfish of her to do that to Zorda. No, not Zorda. Teddy, because Teddy is also the son of Don, and he didn't do anything wrong. So for her to be that selfish in a way, I think it's not really productive on her side, on her part. So I think it's either they're gonna find out that Dawn is being buried, or that they're gonna leave it the way it is. But I don't know. We'll see. Now let's talk about Sabungile a little bit. Sabungile is now, love struck. She's having this puppy love with Stompy, which I think is cute. I think high school girls, trying to figure out why she's feeling like this towards Stumpy. Stumpy also love struck with this little girl. Yeah, she's a bit young for me, but what age is just a number? I can't really fault Stumpy. They haven't done anything wrong yet. I don't think there's anything wrong between these two actually going the romantic route, but I just hope things end well. But Shobogile is really like smitten by Stompy, and I think it's really cute. How far is this story gonna go? I'm not sure. Speaking of Stompy, he was stuck at his mother's place because Bongili brought him to the house, and then they were about to do like the dirty stuff. They were about to, I think, have intercourse when Teddy walked in the house, and then he had to hide underneath the bed, and he had to be there the whole night. This dude was snoring his ass off, like he was actually snoring to the point where Teddy had to wake up. And when he thought that it was actually Sibongile, but it wasn't Sibongile, it was actually Stumpy. So he looked underneath the bed, and he found out that was Stumpy under the bed. It was hilarious. That scene was just funny. It was like, oh, that's what I needed. Like it's humor, is something light but also serious at the same time. Now let's talk about Mazette and Ntokos. Well, Mazette nearly killed herself because of what she overheard Samuel's dad speaking about her, that he doesn't want to see Samuel be a slave to Mazette. I think that was a bit selfish and self-centered on the dad's side, because Sam was not having any problem with helping Mazette. I mean, if Mazette was in Siamu's position, I think Mazette could have helped Siamu, regardless if she's a kid or she's a young student. It doesn't really matter. So, for him to say, "Oh, I don't want my daughter to be a slave," she's not a slave. She's helping. What do you expect? This woman has been through a lot, and I think for her to overhear that, it, it took her to a place where she wanted to kill herself, and she took pills and she nearly died. Thank God for Siamo and Tachi for coming to the rescue, because I think if they didn't, she could have died. And I think that's a really powerful storyline that a lot of people should learn from. I think, yeah, we have disabilities. Yeah, you know, it's hard for people with disabilities, and it can be really dark for people like who have disabilities. But they need to know that there's the light at the end of the tunnel, and they should not give up, and they should realize that they should be happy that they're alive, regardless of how they look like or how they balance life with issues like disabilities, you know. And I think I like what Mazet is showing in terms of the struggle of a person who has disabilities, regardless of what kind. It's either physical or mental or whatever it is. It's hard for people who have disabilities, and sometimes we live in our heads, and then it's like, oh God, what can I do? But if you know that you're alive and you're able to even speak or utter any kind of words, then you're living. You should not give up. But anyway, I think my side is gonna, you know, come on the other side because Ntakoza is now very in love with her, and they found a middle ground in terms of how things are going between the two of them. You know, I love the fact that Ntakoza did not give up on Mazet, and that's true love. If you love someone truly and unconditionally, will never give up on them, regardless of what happened to them, or if something horrible has happened to them and they're not the same person that you fell in love with, but you still love them the way they are now. It's a powerful thing that Ntogos is doing, because now he's displaying his true love for Mazet. It was not just, you know, physical, it's also emotional. It's intimate in a way that physical stuff doesn't even matter anymore. And I think it was time for Mazet to realize this guy loves you. Okay, he truly loves you. And for you to let him go as if he was nothing would have been a really bad thing on your part, you know. You would have regretted it. And I think it was great for her to see the light before it was too late. But anyway, I think that's it. Those are the main storyline that stuck out to me. And I'm enjoying what's going on right now in Gomora and Generations. I feel like, yeah, a lot has happened, but it was not like screaming out like, we're like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, by the way, Tati and this new guy, this new character, they kissed, and I think that was his mission, to make Tati to fall in love with him because he's in love with her. I don't know where this storyline is going, but I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. Like, there's something about him that just nags me in a wrong way. But we'll see how that storyline goes. But for now, I think that's it in terms of reviewing the episodes from, you know, the shows Generations and Gomora. But anyway, let me know what you thought about this episode, last week's episode. So let me know, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, and don't forget to click on the notification bell to know when I'm gonna post a new video. Peace.